Good evening and welcome. You're watching Breaking Views with me, Sanket Upadhyay, a show where we get you all the views so that you get the complete picture. Now, something very strange has started happening. In politics, nothing is strange, but even by these standards, something very strange has started happening. Clothes are now becoming a subject of national discourse. You see, there is a Bharat Jodo Yatra of the Congress party going on. So one aspect of that Yatra became a talking point, which was Rahul Gandhi's t-shirt. And in a response, the Congress party has made another thing a subject matter of discourse, which is khaki shorts. So what has happened? This is a showdown over shorts and skirts. So on the left hand side, you see a BJP tweet from a couple of days ago where they show Rahul Gandhi wearing this t-shirt, and it is from Burberry. And they put out the price also above 40,000 for a t-shirt. In response, the Congress party put out a tweet today as part of its Bharat Jodo Yatra mission, where they said they put out a photograph of a burning shorts symbolizing the RSS's dress up until a few years ago, because now they've gone full pants. They don't wear shorts. So the BJP's tweet, to which the Congress party says, and I am putting this out on screen: did it scare you seeing the crowd gathered for Bharat Jodo Yatra talk about real issues, speak about unemployment and inflation? If you want to discuss clothing, then Modi ji's suit worth 10 lakh rupees and glasses worth 1.5 lakh rupees will be talked about. So this is the Congress's response back then. Clearly this is not over. So what happened was that the Congress party put out this khaki shorts tweet today, this morning, and since then there is a verbal war which is going on between the BJP and the Congress. So when this was put out, burning shorts, Tejasvi Surya of the Bharatiya Janata Party tweeted, where he said, the picture is symbolic of Congress politics of lighting fires in the country. Fires they lit in the past has burnt them in most of India. The remaining embers in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh will also reduce to ashes very soon. Save this tweet. And since then, you've got one tweet after the other, you've got one press conference after the other. Imagine, pieces of clothing, now a serious issue of discussion between the BJP and the Congress party. So the question that we are asking on this broadcast is very simply this. You look at this image and ask yourself, is this in bad taste? This is not a question that we are asking, of course we are, but this is a subject matter of discourse between the two leading national parties, BJP and the Congress party. One says this is in very bad taste, the other says that no, this is not in very bad taste. So you decide, with the help of the panelists that we'll be speaking to in just a short moment or not, is this in bad taste or not? Let's quickly listen in to those press conferences that took place on this pressing issue of urgency in this country.
इस प्रकार से राहुल गांधी भारत जोड़ो यात्रा के नाम में नफरत फैला रहे हैं, आज उसका खुलासा भारतीय जनता पार्टी यहां से करेगी। आप सब ने देखा है कि आज सुबह कांग्रेस पार्टी ने ये ट्वीट किया है। दिस वॉज ट्वीटेड बाय द कांग्रेस पार्टी टुडे मॉर्निंग फॉर देयर भारत जोड़ो यात्रा। द पिक्चर दैट हैज बीन शोन इन दिस ट्वीट इज दिस। यह तस्वीर भारतीय जनता पार्टी आरएसएस को रिप्रेजेंट करते हुए कांग्रेस पार्टी ने ट्वीट किया है और इसमें आग जलते हुए दिखाया गया है। आगजनी का दृश्य है ये। दिस इज नथिंग बट इंस्टिगेटिंग पीपल फॉर वायलेंस। यह और कुछ नहीं है मगर किस प्रकार से लोग वायलेंट हो, किस प्रकार से आगजनी हो, किस प्रकार से हत्याएं हो, उसके लिए लोगों को उकसाने का काम आज गांधी परिवार और गांधी परिवार के कहने पर कांग्रेस पार्टी ने किया है।
Those who stoke the fires of hatred, those who stoked the fire of bigotry and prejudice must be prepared to take some things back in the same coin. If I were to enumerate in the manner in which the BJP and its surrogates have fanned hatred, prejudice, lies, falsehood. See, the trouble is the RSS and the BJP is not used to aggressive responses from the Congress. When the Congress gives an aggressive response, जब हम आक्रामक होते हैं तब वो पीछे हट जाते हैं. तो ये अगर वो आक्रामक होंगे, हम डबल आक्रामक होंगे. ये समझ लेना चाहिए उनको.
Let me introduce our guest, Dr. Vijay Jolly of the BJP, Mahima Singh, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Madhavan Narayanan, senior journalist, Sujata Paul, political analyst, and Mr. Ratan Sharda is an author. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us. Let me first begin with you, Ms. Mahima Singh. How would you respond to this allegation that this is in extremely poor taste, and that's the least of the things wrong with this tweet? How would you respond?
I would like to say that half the attention to the real issues of people of this country, we would not be conducting this Yatra. The need for this Yatra has arisen because of BJP's own hate-mongering and actions. And now in the slightest of those impressions of the hate-mongering that we do day in, day out, the venom spitting that they do day in, day out on debates, on their Twitter handles, on a little slip of tongue, the kind of official tweets we receive from the BJP, I think this is meant to happen. Somebody joking around must be willing to take back jokes on themselves. Somebody spitting venom day in, day out must remember that the other person who's keeping quiet is only keeping quiet because they want to maintain peace, and that it is not their obligation to do so. And that they have a choice to respond in a befitting manner. And when it does happen, you know,
Mahimaji, here's the thing, Mahimaji. You just now said that there are issues of greater concern in this country and people must talk about it. Now this tweet of yours, fine. I mean, you ridiculed the BJP for tweeting about Rahul Gandhi's T-shirt being for 41,000 rupees. All of that is understandable when you make this claim that let's talk about real issues. But when you also tweet along these lines and then say that let's talk about real issues, so the tweet, you can't have it both ways, you know. That it is ridiculous for the BJP to talk about shirts, but it is not ridiculous for you to talk about shorts. How can both be right?
Sanket ji, we won't become a doormat and let BJP step on us day in, day out, all the time.
So then you will play the same type of politics which you accuse them of doing. Correct?
Sorry?
Then you will play the same type of politics. You will give them back in the same coin as they are doing. That's what I understand and I deduct from what you're saying.
See, the point is, Sanket ji, that the BJP never answers the questions, the very relevant questions that they are asked. They keep on picking up the most irrelevant points. They,
so this Congress tweet is irrelevant
in the worst manner. And we have it. Burning of effigies is a democratic right. We are only posting a picture. Remember the kind of protests that BJP carried out when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, and the kind of hate mongering and the kind of imagery we received from the BJP. Is it even 1% of that? I am just saying that we'll have to give them the taste of their own poison that they are spreading in this country.
Okay, Dr. Vijay Jolly's response. You are getting a taste of your own, not medicine, but poison.
You see, putting khaki shorts on fire is not only in bad taste, but I also wish to remind the Honorable Congress spokesperson. Many people in their lives during their childhood or during the young days would have worn khaki shorts, including the Congress leaders too. But in times of calamities like heavy rains, floods, communal riots, including corona pandemic, RSS volunteers numbering more than 50 million across pan-India are always in the forefront for distributing flood relief materials and collecting food for the hungry and blood for saving the human lives. And during the last 97 years of the RSS which was founded on 25th September 1925 in Nagpur. Various generations of the Congress leaders, I would not say one, but 4 generations of the Congress leadership right up till Rahul Gandhi have failed in their primary aim of demolishing or putting the RSS and its khaki knickers. I feel proud to be a khaki knicker wala, which I used to wear before, but now I wear the khaki pants also with a white shirt. And I wish to tell them, the former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, as well as the current Prime Minister Mr. Modi, is also a swim sevak who are proved to be
Madhavan Narayanan, I want to come to you now. Yeah, Mr. Madhavan, you see, the thing is that there's 5 days since this yatra began, and we've already had 4 controversies, 4 big ones. Right? There was one with that, controversial priest affiliated to the Christian religion and his pictures. Then a controversy around whether he paid his respects to Vivekananda or not, and later the Congress tweeted that yes, he did, and the BJP made a big deal out of it. Then the t-shirt, and now shorts. Do you feel that the Congress party is partly doing all of this and also being a victim of politicking around their yatra, but it is helping them create a buzz around the yatra by staying controversial?
Absolutely. I think you are touching a very interesting point, Saket, because I think in public relations, they say mind share is very important, and so is market share. So if you like to take a look at the political market, I think there is something called the decibel for decibel match that Congress attempts to be doing. But to use a cricketing analogy, Congress using this over the 4 days is like, Rahul Gandhi batting with BJP having 4 slips and 2 gullies and a backward short leg, which basically means that the BJP spokespersons are waiting to pounce on even the flimsiest of things, and the burning of an RSS shorts is a big provocation. And although t-shirts and shorts can be equated, the trick in figurative and literal terms, khaki shorts are below the belt. So therefore, hitting there is a controversial thing.
Well said. Nice.
But you could. But I would also add stretch the metaphor and say it's hitting below the Hindi belt. So this campaign might appeal the south of the Vindhyas, but this campaign may backfire north of the Vindhyas. If you look at it tactically and practically, in terms of what is it really going to achieve for Congress apart from a lot of smoke and fire. Let me say bad taste is not new to the Congress-BJP rivalry. It was Sonia Gandhi who described Mr. Modi and said he was doing zahar ki kheti. And then Mr. Modi himself described Shashi Tharoor's marriage as 50 crore ki girlfriend. And let's not forget that bad taste is not a unique property of Congress.
Correct.
Both parties have had a race to the bottom, which has lowered the public discourse in this country.
Yeah.
Me being old-fashioned, we will say this. I think they are losing humor, which I'm very sad. Earlier politics was about editorial comment. These days it seems to be about sartorial comment, which is denotes the falling standards of the republic. And therefore, I am very keen that they raise the standards. But I must say, there are better ways to make noise than what the Congress has been doing this. But I must say symbolism plays a major role in politics. What Congress is doing at the core of it is attacking the Hindu hegemonic idea of India, or, that the BJP has been...
Which you are saying, which you are saying that may or may not give them success in the north of the country. South maybe some traction, but not in the north.
I think actually in India, let us face it, politics is not just a matter of history, it's also a matter of geography. So you'll have to look at both history and geography when you play politics. What works south of Vindhyas may not work in the north. And if Congress wants to retain Rajasthan and win back Madhya Pradesh,
I think from the Congress point of view and their equivalent version of the IT cell, this was some sort of a response for for the shirt jibe. It's very clear. Ratan Sharda, how do you look at this? I mean, can this not be passed off as political humor? Why can't you do that?
See, political humor I can understand. Point is, they talk about BJP talking about Rahul Gandhi's t-shirt, they jump onto the whipping boy called RSS. Did RSS make any authorized comment about Rahul Gandhi's t-shirt or anything? I have not. I have made one tweet that he visited Vivekananda Rock Memorial, not realizing that that was also made by Nikarwala. So if he visits Vivekananda Rock Memorial, he visiting an RSS made national icon, a very big memorial for the nation. Secondly, it would be ridiculous, it would be laughable till we remember that in 1948, after Gandhi assassination, allegedly 8,000 Brahmins, or if not 8,000, hundreds of Brahmins were killed, looted, their shops and house gutted in Pune, Kolhapur belt. Then in 84, same kind of vendetta against the Sikhs. And now they are trying to whip up hate against RSS. It was a fight between BJP and Congress. If they want to talk about, Mehengai, they can talk about Mehengai. They had a golden chance of 140, 160, whatever days to create a positive narrative. And what do they end up with? They end up with not congratulating Navy for the new flag. They end up by not congratulating nation for the Netaji's statue. They end up by going to a pader who actually denounced Bharat Mata, who had most insulting and hateful comments about Modi ji, and who also had very different kind of comments which are not even worth mentioning. He was sitting with people who opposed Kundakalam atomic plant, who stopped Sterlite, and who were blamed by of all the people, Manmohan Singh, about sabotaging Indian progress.
Yeah.
If this is the kind of narrative they are trying to make, and when this Ramesh was talking about, hum apni taakat laga denge. Sir, you had your maximum taakat in 1948 with false allegations against RSS. RSS did not stop. RSS did not end. Entire Gandhi Nehru family has been fighting against RSS on all flimsy grounds. They should leave RSS out. That would save them Hindu votes. That would also save them some energy to do real fight with BJP on BJP issues, on economic issues, and not bring in.
So you're saying when they bring up RSS, they're going away from what they claim is the real issue.
Because it
They
doesn't
move
work
away.
out.
Okay.
Out in
Okay. Let me ask this question of Sujata Paul. Ms. Paul, tell me something. The Congress says this is a Bharat Jodo Yatra. It is anti-hate. Correct. But what we see right now is a little bit of hate directed at the RSS. So are we to assume that the Congress is trying to kill hate with hate? लोहा लोहे को काटता है, हाँ? That philosophy.
नहीं, लोहा लोहे को काटता है, but so does हीरा हीरे को काटता है. तो ये जो फर्जी हीरा है, इसको जब असली हीरा काटेगा, तो जितनी नफरत
No, but the point is you are trying to kill hate with hate.
Not at all. I'm coming to that. It is basically the optics of everything that is mattering to the BJP right now. And you notice that on a lot of mainstream channels, definitely not yours, where people are screaming, they are hate mongering, they are lies mongering going on. And it's very important that the BJP should know that if they think that they're going to stoop to, to the level of the gutter level, then the Congress party can fight them at that point also. It is not about hate. It is about ensuring that the hate is removed from the scene so people get together. I definitely want to answer something that Mr.
But again, my point is you're saying that the people must know that we are fighting them at their level, gutter level, as you say. But again, I come back to the main question. You are trying to kill hate with hate.
No, let me complete this. What I'm trying to say, Mr. Upadhyay, is that once this hate is killed, this filth which is being spread by the BJP RSS combine, once that is over, then maybe we will get them also to realize that it is the right thing to do when you maintain decorum and you do not keep insulting other people. I think we need to get the discourse back to that level. Now, whether
No, but then have you been successful? Have you been successful in getting the discourse back to unemployment rates and the increasing fuel price? Have you been successful? Because right now I feel that it's not an eye for an eye. This is a shot for a skirt.
Your concern. No, Mr. Upadhyay, you're absolutely correct that it seems that we might not have reached where we should be, where the discourse should be about price rise and unemployment. But, make sure that this is just the 5th day of the Bharat Jodo Yatra. And there are 145 days still left. So, how much can the BJP keep bringing up? For four days, we've seen 4 controversies like you yourself mentioned. For how long are they going to fight on this? And if they continue to fight on that, let's fight it at that level. But ultimately, the conversation is going to come to price rise and unemployment. And we will have to discuss it.
So.
One last point.
Madhavan Narayanan,
Yeah.
I want to come to you. Mahatma Gandhi once said, an eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. Could you complete a sentence for me, please? I've been struggling. A short for a shirt makes the whole world what?
Oh my God! I think I think we are. We are going from a state of addressing the public to undressing the leaders. I think that's not a very good way to play politics. But honestly speaking, Sanket, as a long-term watcher of politics, I look at 2 things. One is the core element of what is happening. The other is the atmospherics or optics. In this case, I find that Congress is better off actually if it discusses inflation and unemployment, which are real issues, because this it has got a point that this whole. We can argue on whether Congress, Bharat, Jai Hind, RSS never uses the term Jai Hind. You can say Jai Hind, you can say Bharat Mata Ki Jai, you can say Hindustan Zindabad. All these reflect ideas of India at various levels, and they can be coexisting, and that is what the 3 tricolors denote in India. But what is happening is that there hasn't been a monochromatic approach to nationalism that BJP practices in many ways. It shows in so many ways in the utterances of the leaders. They are reluctant tricolorists. They were originally saffronists. But these intellectual arguments, when they are treated at the street level politics, it has to be done with a lot of finesse, which I'm afraid Congress is lacking.
Okay. Would you like to respond, Ms. Mahima Singh, to that assessment?
I would certainly like to complete your caption.
Sure. A short for a shirt makes the whole world what?
A reflection of what they are giving to the world. Because what goes around comes around. The BJP must remember that the world is a mirror. The politics in itself is a mirror of the society. And in this society, in this democratic society where democracy is being killed by the BJP day in, day out, they have been instilling hatred in the youth of this country by endorsing bulldozers. Bulldozer politics is the
Dr. Jolly's response
of the day in this country. But before you give it away to him, I would like to come to his first piece that he said. He was talking about COVID, and I was immediately the glimpses of queues out of crematoriums, lack of oxygen, shortage of oxygen cylinders, shortage of remdesivir. Immediately flashed in front of my eyes. So the BJP must look in its own अपने खुद के गिरेबान में झांक करके देख. They should look at their own self.
Again a piece of cloth, huh?
हर शीशे के होते हैं, दूसरों पर पत्थर नहीं मारते. That's what I would want to say.
Vijay, Dr. Jolly, look inside your shirt, short, gireban for the reality.
Can I make a brief comment?
Yes.
Not as in dress brief, in English brief.
We will keep it brief.
I am very proud. I am very proud as a swim sevak of the RSS, which has always promoted Indian culture, nationalism, and character building among all the Indians. And the BJP putting the idol of at the India Gate roundabout of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The Congress has not commented upon that. It has not commented upon the positive aspects of the Kartavya Path, which the BJP government at the center has got constructed.
Okay, I've completely run out of time. Quickly,
21 months.
Mr. Ratan Sharda and Mr. Madhavan wanted to come in. Please keep it
only
brief.
bothered about saving the Burberry T-shirt of their icon
Yeah, for every Burberry, there is a Bulgari.
Biggest joker. Biggest joker.
Frankly, brands that at least I cannot afford.
Just two, three short points.
Yes, Ratan Sharda, very quickly. Ratan Sharda,
One.
two quick, brief
if
comments.
you go through entire biography of every RSS Sanchalak, they have never used derogatory words against any leader, including Nehru, who oppressed RSS the most, because that is public discourse. RSS.
Okay.
Secondly, I think
just use derogatory
when he said लड़कियां निक्कर में नहीं दिखती, people came to know about Rashtra Sevika Samiti. And if I were
Okay, sure. Last word, Mr. Madhavan.
Yeah.
Please, 5 seconds.
Tasting on RSS.
On shorts and shirts, please keep it brief.
Yeah, let me end it on a humorous note, Sanket.
Yes,
which is
look
that
forward.
the BJP is Congress would have been better off discussing pajamas because the BJP is headed by a man whose name is JP Nada. But having said that,
one moment. Your own comments, not mine. There is a Dr. Vijay Jolly and Ratan Sharda who will take great
no, I'm just joking.
Yes,
I'm just joking about the fact
and
that
I disassociate from you and your
ये
comments.
तो टोपी पहनाने का काम हो रहा है.
Sure. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. With that, we come to the end of Breaking Views. News continues on the other side.